Hi, welcome to my channel. I hope you found my thumbnail kind of interesting, so I've just taken the picture for it, and I feel like my channel has just become this like god channel where I don't want it to be like that. I just like to reference this as part of my as an integration of life as I live it, and it not to be the sole purpose of my existence. But I thought it was interesting to integrate that idea of idols into the world and things in the world and stuff like that. So there we go. So basically I shall begin with, so it comes from, I'm talking about like our intrinsic needs and how marketing industries and stuff can sort of try and convince us that we're fulfilling those needs through buying products in ways that you may not have picked up on. So for example, I do think, as a little disclaimer at the beginning, that I, for one, have learned to sin more, and because I feel like I disallowed myself to do certain things at certain times in my life, but understanding that we are innately designed to sin, because of the Adam and Eve story. We are literally like made to sin, like not to say that we should, and obviously trying to navigate life in a way that you don't is good, but obviously innately we are going to sin, and also that even from a level of like our thought is, you know, like can be seen, for example, as a false prophet, because if you have this like thought that might be like negative or irrational, you're false prophesizing over yourself, and it says in the Bible to be aware of false prophets, but you can be, if you look at it that way, you are actually a false prophet to yourself if you literally have negative thoughts and you are prophesizing over yourself. So there we go. For example, and also I'm not trying to take away from these things in the world, but I do think it's interesting to learn from like this, how I'm going to frame it, interesting to not get too sucked into industries that do promote certain stuff, and realise that it's already in you, like everything you need. And obviously we've been lied to by the market industry for a long time in order to sell products, but that does create a functioning society. There are pluses, obviously, and I am going to talk partly about, you know, pharmaceuticals and, you know, the beauty industry. Again, we do need, it is helpful to have things like deodorant, so I'm not saying these are negative things, but they are, from a moral standpoint, from a value standpoint, something to think about. And it is a bit of a roundabout kind of situation. I'm not trying to be like, I've come up with this whole like new idea, like, but it's just interesting to ruminate on. So there we go, let's get into it. So it occurred to me the other day, and I do think all the time, especially now, we're being bombarded with pictures of yachts, and people go on yachts and people have these massive mansions, and it's like you just see them advertised and stuff, more so now rather than ever. We're being bombarded with these massive lux situations, and as someone that's grown up around a level of luxury, like for example, one of my family members does own a boat. I have gone on that in my childhood, and I just remember thinking, like, it's not all it's cracked up to be, if you like it's not. I think this idea of like the industries where we do see like yachts and stuff, yeah, it's a cool experience on like a holiday or whatever. I'm not trying to be ungrateful for my, you know, way I've been able to live, not like I lived every weekend on a yacht. I'm just saying, like, in terms of advertisements and stuff, we're pushed this like life of like riches and peace even that comes with living on a yacht. Because it even occurred to me the other day, over lockdown, that I used to have this amazing association with a place, a holiday resort that I used to go as a child, and I just saw it as this like perfect, peaceful place. And then I realised I got that exact same feeling from walking through the park during lockdown when there was nothing else to do, and I was like, well, why did I just associate that nature, that peace within nature, just with that holiday resort? And I'm like, well, nature's free, like they can sell it to me, but nature is still free. So it's just important to separate the fact, like it says in the Bible, like, store up your riches in heaven, don't store up material possessions, because you won't be able to bring that with you when you die, basically, up to heaven, or, you know. So it's basically to store up your riches on earth for in heaven, for, like, you know, doing good deeds and having, you know, good relationships and blah blah blah. So, but yeah, I did really, even I was like looking at this travel vlog, travel channel the other day, and I was like, they're on like a boat, it's this nice new clean, there are nice new clean properties, and it's just this idle for peace. Like, I've even been to really nice, it's even like anyone, if you go to a nice hotel, like you turn up and there's this, yeah, it's a nice hotel, usually you do have a nice time, and I'm not saying like, you know, God isn't there just blessing us with a nice holiday, I'm not saying that at all, and not that boats aren't great, but it's like, it's this idle to, and it can be distracting, it can be a distraction from real life if you just constantly focus on this idol for peace, where really we've got inner peace given by God anyway. We don't need the yacht as much as it's a nice luxury, and something that some people will do and some people won't. I personally don't think, I know for a fact I'll never own a boat, you know, never say never, but it's unlikely I'm ever going to own a boat. And it's like, I literally look at these yachts, I'm like, I just can't be bothered. Like, even if I did have money, they're like £5 million, like if I was ever to invited to go on a boat, I'm sure I would go, but it's like, I just feel like I don't have the effort. Like, I'm just like, I'd much happier like having a nice walk around my block at this point and just like chill in my room. Like, honestly, this just appeals to me much more. And when people, I used to have friends like that when I was younger, I didn't understand it because I always grew up in like a really nice house, to be fair, like a really nice house. Like, I was given some, we weren't really rich, but I was given nice holidays. We had holidays abroad, don't get me wrong. I've definitely had my fair share of family crap, like everyone else's does, and that's irrelevant. But at the same time, like, I was given materialistically, I went on a cruise, you know what I mean, like or two as I was younger. I was given some of the nice things in life that some people can't afford, and I'm aware of that. Some people don't either do that very often, or they've never gone abroad and stuff, and I haven't gone abroad for a while, but there we go. I'm not being ungrateful for that, but I do think that it can be like an idol for peace, where like we do have intrinsic peace anyway, regardless. Just as going on a nice holiday will be nice. So I wonder what the Bible says about holidays. That's probably a different topic. But I'm going to get on because I don't want it to be like too long. Because I don't know if, I'm going to look up Bible verses about holidays. Because I'm not being funny, I don't remember any holidays being mentioned in the Bible. Apart, it did celebrate like Christmas and Easter and stuff. It says here, Romans 14:5-6, one person's esteemed one day as better than another, while another esteems all days alike. I think so. Okay, I think that's basically like, and I do think it's relative, and I think that's kind of what I'm saying as well, it's relative. Like, some people that have never experienced going on a boat might be like really, really, really happy to go to Butlins, like, and I'm not trying to judge that. I'm more one of those people now, I would say, because I just haven't got the genuine need to work in a job that gives me that much money. I do think you can save up with a minimum wage job to do any of those nice things that you wanted to. Even if you had to like wait a year to do it, you could go to bloody Dubai if you wanted to. I don't know, you could probably save up for most wages, but I don't actually have the willingness to do that at this very moment. Maybe in the future, I don't know. So healing as an idol, the beauty industry. Often there is a lot of face masks and stuff sold in the beauty industry, which I feel like plays on our vulnerability to be healed by God, because it's just a well-known fact that the self-help industry does play on imperfections, insecurities, which are inherent, vulnerabilities are inherent to human beings, and they do kind of play on those for profit, to sell certain things. I would even go as far to say certain pharmaceuticals. However, I obviously have been in the mental health system and have experienced the benefits of pharmaceuticals, so it does come around about a bit. And I think it's just about our own personal limitations, learning where they are and how much is enough. Do you want to use a face mask every 6 months like me, or every year, or once every 5 years if you like? Like, I'm not saying it's bad, I do wear makeup, I do like a bath, you know what I mean, like, and everyone's got their thing that they like to do. It's just about learning where your limitations are and where enough is enough in order to not get to, because I've definitely been someone that's been completely consumed by the clothing industry. Probably, I wouldn't say sell out because I literally have no money, but I did take the liberty of getting some Bible quotes from about clothing, because I thought this one was interesting. Did not he who made me in the womb make him, and did not one fashion us in the womb? Which I found was kind of interesting. It's a bit weird. Do we have some weird innate, like, mothering need? That's why we're obsessed with nature, because we want to be, like, fashioned in the womb again. Like, is that some sort of Freudian thing? Like, I don't know if that's a thing, but it does say it. I'm just reading what the words are. So, interesting. But, at the same time... so weird. But at the same time, again, I wouldn't say all fast fashion is good, but obviously it does help with a functional society. And I'm not God, I don't have to, I'm not trying to put the world, change it in that many ways. I'm just trying to get some sort of grip on, because we didn't always have fast fashion. This is what I mean. We've evolved as people, but we haven't evolved so much that we, like, you know, like 100 years ago, you know, we didn't have anywhere near what we have at the moment, and we lived perfectly functional lives. We haven't evolved that much in 100 years that we need to be buying this amount of clothing. You know what I mean? I'm trying to understand what the industry has done to me as a person, and if anyone watches this, you know, it might click somewhere with you, what they've done to us in order to, you know, make us be reliant so much on this sort of life. I can't change how the world is, and I don't think it's ever going to go back, to be honest. So maybe this is unnecessarily thinking, but I do like to keep an eye, because it's not always... I just feel like I've grown up around a lot of ability to buy things I want, and I just want to actually level that out within myself, to be honest, because I do think I've been over-reliant on money and under-reliant on things that are not revolved around money in the past. So I would like to explore other avenues, see what else I can get from life, rather than going into Topshop, which Topshop no longer exists anyway, so there we go. Very sad, but there we go. Next one, the dieting industry. It does talk about fasting in the Bible, but a Bible quote that it says is, "But when you fast, put oil on your head and wash your face, so that you may not be obvious to others that you are fasting, but only to the Father who is unseen, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you." So we do have a dieting industry, and what is dieting revolved around? Letting everyone know you're on Weight Watchers, and I've been a person that goes to Weight Watchers. I've been to Slimming World in the past. We've all been there. The vast majority of us have been there. Thank God the fucking diet industry is dying, and there's so much, you know, understanding, and I hope in 5 years' time or less there's a lot more understanding of the mass consumerism culture we have at the moment and how it is killing the environment. To be fair, I'm not very environmentally aware, and I don't want to overstimulate myself and get... You can't, at the end of the day, understand everything, but obviously from a logical level, the ozone layers are literally melting because there is so much water being taken up, and, you know, chemical gases made from these factories making excessive amounts of clothing. So there we go. So yeah, fasting, the obviously diet industry is the complete opposite to what the Bible states, interestingly enough. But I do think the world does have to learn sin, like I do at the same time, and this is, though it's a discussion phase, I do think you have to learn to sin sometimes, because, like, you're told all these basic rules as a child sometimes, like, you have to be nice to people. Do you have to be nice to everyone? Is it a sin to not be nice to everyone? I mean, debatable, depends what context you're talking about, but it's like, you do sometimes have to learn to sin. You know, am I not going to buy any clothing because I don't like the fact that the ozone layers are melting? No. I think it's just about not being greedy in life and literally taking what you need as a necessity, and not... My camera battery's getting low, which is why I'm going to try and speed up a bit now, but in not sort of take an excessive amount that is unneeded. So that actually does wrap up my video, to be fair, so I have literally gotten to the end of it before my camera running out. But yeah, it's all very interesting. As a little side note, we all know social media does play on the fact we have this innate need for a community and stuff like that. Do I feel less alone now I've got social media than I did before 2009 when I first got Facebook? Yes, I do feel less alone. I do think the benefits of the internet are great. You know, this really wasn't a hate campaign against the world, but it's interesting to know what might click with you, what's clicked with me, that kind of help save me from marketing reinforcements, which are very clever, to be fair. They're not stupid, the people that make these advertisements. So yeah, a bit of an interesting conspiracy style video. It's not even conspiracy style, it's just educational and a bit thought-provoking. These are topics I like to talk about, so if you're interested, subscribe to my channel. If you don't, then that's fine. I'm gonna go now. Thanks, bye.